transpires as the teams begin to emerge from the Ibrox tunnel. It is Rangers against Aberdeen coming up. Just to let you know, in terms of the post-match reaction from the 3 o'clock kickoffs, you can hear from Derek McInnes and others at half-time in this game. But for now, our full focus is on the 5:45 kickoff at Ibrox. It's Rangers against Aberdeen, live here on Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland in the company of Ian McCall, Willie Miller and match commentator Liam McLeod.
A glorious spring evening here in Glasgow, bright blue skies above, and a huge game for both these sides, and both looking to react to results elsewhere in the 3 o'clock kickoffs. Rangers to Hearts victory over Dundee. That Oisin McEntee goal making all the difference in the world for Hearts, who go 5 clear of Celtic and 6 clear of Rangers again at the summit of the Premiership. Very different problems for Aberdeen. Those wins for Kilmarnock against Livingston and St Mirren at Falkirk mean they are just 3 points above the 11th place playoff waterline. They are in big trouble, and on an abysmal Premiership run of just 1 win in their last 14, and that came against the bottom dogs Livingston. And away from home, they've gone 10 without a win. They haven't even scored a single goal in their last 8 away games since Kenan Bogdanovic scored on the other side of the city, and what proved to be a consolation at Celtic Park on the 21st of December. It's quite remarkable that they haven't managed so much as a goal on their travels since then. Rangers know the importance of every single game between now and the end of the season, with just 8 to go, including this one for them. And it will be the hosts who are going to kick off in the blue and white, Aberdeen all in red. It's Butland in goal for Rangers. Tavernier, Giga, Fernandez and Romans, who was the hero in Paisley last week. Asgard, Raskan, Chikwani, Moore, Sharmiti and Nadiri. Aberdeen, Mitov, Milne, Morrison and Malloy. Lobin, Palaversa, Aremu and Jamfi. Geiger, Nisbet, Bilalovic. Just about ready to go. Rangers are going to go from right to left, shooting towards the Broomloan Road. Aberdeen towards Copeland Road, and Nicola Raskan touches it all the way back to his goalkeeper at the edge of the box, and Butland launches it long with the right foot down that far side where the header's won by Nadiri. Sharmiti chasing after it. Giamfi gets between he and the ball though, wins it back for Aberdeen under real pressure from Asgard over on that far side as well, looking to win at least a throw, and he's been hemmed in down by the corner flag. Gets it up the line, it bounces off Tavernier, breaks to the edge of the area. Remu gets onto it, but here's Moore at the edge of the box, and the D shoots, it's deflected, and Mitov holds on. But Rangers within 30 seconds of the game getting a shot away.
It's a good start for Rangers, isn't it? I think positive start as far as Aberdeen's concerned. Then, you know, they'll be glad to get the first few minutes out of the way. It could be a long evening if that turned into something, you know, more like hitting the back of the net. But Rangers, they certainly look up for it. You know, it's been a really bright start, but we're just a couple of minutes into the game, so a long way to go.
Milne facing his own goal to a long ball, manages to knee it back to Dimitar Mitov calmly, with Sharmiti in close attendance. Ian McCall watching this alongside me and Willie.
Yeah, Nadiri, it does. He plays a lot deeper than I mean, we're only a minute or two in, but he does play in that space behind Sharmiti. I think he needs to cover the ground to get closer to Sharmiti. I think that's one of the things.
Almost a loose ball out of the box there by Butland, and Geiger was almost onto it. He gets away with it, and it's Butland now on the ball again, rolling it low to Giga to his right and up the line for Asgard, midway inside his own half, turning away from Malloy, and then turning it back to James Tavernier, who scored more goals against Aberdeen than anyone else in his career. Big switch from the Rangers skipper out to the left here for Fernandez, who's got Moore out in the touchline just inside the Aberdeen half. On this near side, here goes Moore now attacking Dylan Lobin up to the edge of the box. Lobin with the challenge, breaks back to Chukwani. He's level with 18-yard line out to Romans. That's a low ball square in field to Moore, who turns it back to Fernandez, who then plays it to the right of the centre circle here for Nasser Giga. Side foot ball up the right touchline for Tavernier, and then back to Giga. Rangers, it was just the one goal they needed to win at St Mirren last week. It was enough. It's all they need to keep doing. But Hearts know They're in the box seat right now. A huge win for them at home to Dundee. Earlier on, as Chukwani chips it out to the far side touchline, Asgard nods it on, and Adiri up against Malloy, looks to turn it into the path of Chukwani. It's blocked and out for a Rangers throw-in, level with the edge of the D of the Aberdeen box, and they've taken it quickly through Tavernier back to Asgard.
Pretty clear already that Willie was right. It's a back five, it's not a back three. I mean, that's to do with Rangers pushing them by, but it's certainly five right across the pitch at the back.
Here's Moore for Rangers, picking up wide on the left. He's got Romans on the touchline, rolls it out to him, level with the penalty spot, out to the byline. It's with Mikey Moore, plays it into the box. It's blocked there by Milner, claiming handball. At least a few of them were. One player and a few supporters in the Broom loan, but it's cleared by Aberdeen, and it comes all the way through to Butland. Talk to me, Willie, about the Aberdeen lineup today. Antti Palaversa has practically been in Siberia since October, comes back in for a first start since then.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a lot of energy. He's a very decent player as well. Good striker of the ball too from outside the box. He has a goal threat. He likes to get forward. Whether he'll get the opportunity to get forward in this game, not so sure.
Mills in trouble. Nadiri has it, plays it back off Milner. A louder shout for a penalty there, but Aberdeen clear. Aremu's beaten to it though by Chukwani on this near side, and then Geiger loses out to Chukwani, turns it back to Raskan, left of the centre circle. Goalless in the opening 4 minutes, just about at Ibrox, as Raskan picks up right of the circle. Forward it comes, side through ball to Shermiti along the deck, back to Raskan and out to Tavernier in the right, infield to Shermiti. Shermiti now up to the edge of the box, rolls it to Nadiri, looking for Shermiti, gets it back to Nadiri, and it's blocked and away out for a throw-in. The Rangers on the far side. They've started like a train here.
They have, and they've got the crowd up, which is very, very important. Started at a real tempo.
Tavernier playing it back there to Giga. Little touch in field to Fernandez. Side foot ball to the edge of the Aberdeen box for Moore. It's a chip, delicate towards Asgard. Throws himself at it. Can't really make any purchase on it. And it comes right through to Mitov, who holds on. This is the third and final meeting between these two this season, with a pair of 2-0 wins within a matter of days. For Rangers in January, just after Jimmy Tillin was sacked, and given what's happened since then, and given what's happened in the dugout now, you just wonder why they didn't give Stephen Robinson the job at the time. Perhaps wouldn't find themselves in the situation they are right now. Perhaps they would have done, but something we'll never know. As Moore plays it to Romans, left-hand side of the box, cross blocked by Milne. That's going for a corner unless Lobban can prevent it from doing so, which he can't. And Rangers have the first corner of the match, 5 minutes in at 0-0.
And I think the appointment would have been more accepted by the fans as well at that time.
The stock was higher at that point, just won the League Cup as well.
Yeah, so, you know, eventually they got there. But it's a huge task for Stephen Robinson, and the way Rangers have started this evening, it's a huge task for the 11 Aberdeen players out there just now.
They've got to face this James Tavernier corner on the Rangers' left as they attack the goal to the left. And Swinger coming up with the right boot of the skipper. He's played it low to the angle of the box, gets it back from Romans and balloons his cross way too high for everyone. And it sails behind the right side of the goal frame. Goal kick Aberdeen, goalless at Ibrox as Mitov tries to free Balalovic quickly. Actually, as it's headed away in the halfway line by a Rangers head, Kieran Balalovic missed a couple of opportunities here in the defeat that I mentioned in the first of the 2-0 losses, albeit they played a lot better here than they did in the insipid performance a few days later at Pittodrie. It's Aremu, plays it forward, can't find Balalovic, and it breaks here to Fernandez. Aremu, another one of the January arrivals, the Nigerian who was brought in from Kaiserslautern, and 2 balls in the pitch, so referee Matthew McDermott stopped proceedings at the moment. But we haven't seen a lot of Aremu. You can see what he can provide, but he's playing in the spoiler role in the midfield. Palaversa and Geiger, when they're on the ball, trying to get a little bit higher, support Balalovic and Nisbet, who are really operating as a front two.
They're playing pretty high. I've noticed that as well. Yeah, I mean, you maybe under pressure, one of them will drop in, whether it's Nisbet might stay up, but they're certainly the 2 strikers. Which Stephen Robinson did a lot at St Mirren. A lot of the time, the 2 strikers stayed up.
Yeah, Mandra and Ayunga in Lungaloo, perhaps more recent times. As Aremu wins a header and finds Geiger on this near side. Geiger turning away from Chukwani, but he was with his legs whipped away from him there by the Rangers midfielder. It'll be a free kick to Aberdeen, just right of the centre circle, so they've got through the opening few minutes soaking up the Rangers pressure. As Liam Morrison picks up, plays it to his left for Malloy, plays it with the left foot down the left touch line. Nisbet's onto it now. Jiga comes out to meet him, breaks back to Jamfi. Although he hasn't seen much action recently, he's been injured on several different occasions this season. It's the Aberdeen left wing back who arrived from the Schalke youth team, given away by Milne, who picked up on the right, played it straight to Chukwani in the halfway line, forward to Sharmiti. Plays it with the right foot to Tavernier on the right side, and then into the centre circle for Raskan, who plays it to his left for Emmanuel Fernandez. Infield to Raskan, surveys what's ahead of him, decides to play it short there, the easy ball to Jiga to his right, now to Tavernier on the right side's a chip ball forward, looking for Nadiri. Milne holds him off, and it breaks the way of Lobben on this near side, and he's able to clear with the right foot up to the halfway line, where Fernandez controls and plays it short to Raskan. Rangers 0, Aberdeen 0, 8.5 on the clock. There's a flick from Asgard to Nadiri. The pressure from Morrison, shout for handball, and the referee agrees. Rangers have a free kick. Morrison protests his innocence. Rangers have a free kick here. Just on the cusp of the final third, really. It's just slightly into it. An opportunity here from an attacking position to put what's been a weak Aberdeen defence all season under pressure.
Striking distance, what do you think?
Well, Asgard had a look at it, but I think it's a wee bit far.
Yeah.
He's about 40 yards. 35.
Yeah, about 35, you'd think. Anyway, we do have 3 over at the moment. Moore just walking away from the scene. Romans and Tavernier are there. I mean, you wouldn't put it past James Tavernier as he stands with his right hand in the air as Rangers look to break the deadlock. Tavernier waits, Aberdeen with everyone behind the ball. A 2-man wall of Geiger and Bilalovic. It's Romans leaving it for Tavernier. It's a clip ball into the box. It's an Aberdeen head, puts it behind off. Malloy behind for another Rangers corner.
Yeah, really good area, just didn't really have the height. That one you're always aiming to about a foot outside the far post and try and get it on that trajectory, but it was a decent delivery.
Tavernier to take again on this near side. Moore is there as a short option. Bit of movement at the back end of the penalty spot. In comes Tavernier's corner, and the header is over from Shamiti. Might have been wide as well. 10 in, Rangers 0, Aberdeen 0.
I think he's got to do better, is he not? Shamiti, I mean, he's free. He's not under any real pressure. He's lost his marker. I just don't think he gets over it enough. I mean, it comes off his head, but it goes over, and it looks as though if he meets that square with his forehead, surely he can, you know, make that ball go down rather than go over the bar. I think it was wide too. It wasn't just over the bar, but it was, you know, well over the bar and well wide as well. I suspect
we see that later on in the telly, Liam. That'll be a sitter, because all the pace was on the ball. All he had to do was direct it.
He's had a funny opening season at Rangers as Yusuf Sharmiti. He's scored 9 goals. 8 of them have come in games against Celtic and Hearts, which is pretty handy, I suppose.
Yeah, well, that's he's doing the hard part of the job, and he doesn't do the easy part of the job. I mean, that was a brilliant chance to score.
Rangers have it in their own box with Fernandez. A terrible ball out. It's Geiger trying to get onto it. Aremu blocked it. He can't work it through to Geiger. It's right through to Butland. It's a couple of little unforced errors at the back from Rangers players, Butland and then Fernandez.
Yeah, Fernandez has got that in his locker, you know, and I think he's admitted that. So you know, if he admits it, you suggest that you try and stop it. I mean, I just think he takes too long in possession. He's got huge attributes, you know, and he's just a bit slack. He's slack at certain times in games.
Certainly looks laid back, doesn't he?
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Rangers have it with Tavernier. Forward it comes, cleared by Milne. Long ball. Aremu, who breaks to in the midfield. Forward to Nisbet, turns it back to Palaversa. And the Croatian back in the team today. The first time in 5 months. Made a few sub-appearances since then, but kind of came back to the matchday squads when Peter Leven was in interim charge. Leaving the club officially yesterday. As Aberdeen pick up a free kick inside their own half over on that left-hand side. 12 minutes in, Rangers 0, Aberdeen 0. Danny Rule just making his way back to his dugout, hands in pockets, in the long winter coat. As Loban's ball in field is aim for Aremu, eventually does break to him. Now he finds Palaversa, he dinks it out to Dennis Geiger wide on the right. Geiger looks up, tries to bend the ball in behind for Bilalovic, but it's too close to Butland, who holds on. He gets applause from his manager for the attempt though, and it stays Rangers 0, Aberdeen 0.
Yeah, Peter Leven did a fabulous job in both occasions, just being at the club, you know, to take care of the team on an interim basis. But Aberdeen looking as though they're getting a little bit, you know, more confidence and a bit more of the ball, a bit more space as well. Rangers, the energy, that initial energy from Rangers seems to have disappeared.
Yeah, it's been draws that have threatened to stop Rangers winning the title this season. They've had 12 of them, 12 of their 30 league games ending all square. They've been massively costly, and of the 12 league draws, they've thrown away leads in 5 of them, meaning 10 points. They are sitting on the floor. Imagine where they'd be right now if they'd held on for victories in those ones. Games against Motherwell twice at Fir Park, Dundee United here, Falkirk, and most recently, of course, 2-0 up against Celtic. And settle for a point. Palaversa dinks it forward, looking for Bilalovic in the Rangers box, but again, he comes right through to Butland, who plays it to his right for Tavernier. That's the things about turning these draws into wins, Ian.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just as you're saying it, I think Aberdeen are looking certainly not as bad as they did at the game at East End Park. I think they're looking reasonably confident.
That was a nadir that night, though. That was
well,
shocking,
absolutely. Yeah, it was really, really poor.
That's why Stephen Robinson's in charge now.
Absolutely. And the one thing they are trying to do, there's two occasions in the last couple of minutes, they're trying to know people are making runs beyond the Rangers centre-backs. They were unlucky on one occasion and the other one was overhit. I think they see that as something they could exploit.
You know, wagging the finger there from Danny Rule to Sharmiti. He's not happy with something. His positioning perhaps as Rangers pick up with Giga inside his own half to the right for Tavernier, and back to Nasser Giga, who's found himself back in favour, and in instead of John Suter, who's listed amongst the subs again for Rangers this evening. As Fernandez picks up on this near side and infield to Moore, who bizarrely has found himself between the two centre backs.
Well, to me,
inside his own half.
To me, he's wide left just now.
There's Asgard controlling with the undersole and rolling it back into his own half for Giga, out to the right for Tavernier, and infield to Asgard. It was back to Giga, and the Rangers supporters getting a little bit frustrated here. 15 in, no goals. The early goal hasn't arrived. There's that long one down the left looking for Romans, is hooked away by Meln, who's facing his own goal. Robin beaten to it by Sharmiti. There's a foul by Geiger on the Rangers number 9. That's another free kick in an attacking position for Rangers here. About 8-9 yards away from this near side main stand side touchline. Stephen Robinson not happy down there. He's always so animated in the technical area. He's pointing at a couple of his players as Romans prepares to take the free kick for Rangers, as they try and get their noses in front here. The Aberdeen supporters over on the far side packing out the away end, as they always do. They're looking right down the barrel at this free kick, which Romans will take right in front of us. Left-footed delivery coming up here, left to the back end of the 6-yard box, headed half clear, breaks to Asgard, whose shot's blocked. He thinks by an arm. Aberdeen clear for now, and it breaks all the way back into their own half for Tavernier. We'll go back to Butland, but Hafiz Aremu's felt the full force of that by the looks of it. He's the one who's poleaxed to the edge of his own penalty area and will now require treatment. Rangers 0, Aberdeen 0, 16.5 on the clock.
Well, unless he's being cute, I suggest that for hit his head, unless he's being cute.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good strike, a lot of power in it as well. You know, he goes down, obviously all be getting checked at this moment in time. Although I don't know, do they show if it's being checked on these big large screens?
Yeah.
Usually do.
Yeah.
So it's not even being checked. So yeah, it looked like a good block from Aremu, who's, you know, getting a little bit of treatment. So looks as though it's come off his head.
Been no, certainly no indication from VAR that this is going under any kind of strenuous review right now. It was Asgard that had the shot, and it was Asgard who scored one of the Rangers goals in the meeting at Pittodrie. It was he and Tavernier penalty that did the damage. He earned 2-0 A few days before that, it was Fernandes and Raskin and Rangers 2-0 up before half-time. But Aberdeen standing firm at the moment, and you can understand the Rangers supporters. They would have thought, given Aberdeen's struggles, and they may go on to win this game, they may go on to win it comfortably, but they've not got that early breakthrough, and that's why they're a little bit edgy.
Absolutely. I mean, maybe it's going too far to say they started like a train, but they certainly looked really up for it, and the crowd was with them, and you know, the tempo of the game was really, really good. You know, as it gets to 15 minutes, to 20 minutes, to 25, to half an hour, the crowd, well, it's kind of human nature. It becomes edgier and edgier, and then you get a couple of wee loose passes at the back from Fernandes, from Butland. Fernandes not using the ball quick enough, they're not getting it side to side quick enough to stretch Aberdeen. Then the atmosphere is going to change a little bit, and I saw that so many times during the period at the end of Clement and with Russell Martin. The play was so slow.
Hafiz Aremu's on his feet. Looks like he's going to be okay. I think regardless of the outcome of this one, the next game for Aberdeen, it's just along the M8 from here, when Stephen Robinson makes a quick fire return to St Mirren. That afternoon is going to certainly not be for the faint-hearted. And at the same time, Kilmarnock are at Hibs, just 3 points separating Killeen St Mirren and Aberdeen just now, coming into this one. After those two won earlier, St Mirren just a second away league win of the season. They both come at Falkirk. Zarley, as Raskin picks up in the centre circle in his own half, pings it forward. Chermiti's in behind, takes a touch of the chest, left-footed, side net, and Douglas Ross's flag has not gone up over on the far side.
For me, he looked offside. I don't know about you, Willie.
No, I did. Yeah. Anyway, he didn't finish it. Yeah. He didn't look confident. Yeah. His body language running up to that ball, so hesitant on the left foot. Surely he's got to go for the far post. I mean, the worst that can happen, I think, is that Mitov's got to make a save, and it might actually then, you know, come back out to one of the Rangers players. But when you hit it and it goes by the near post, even though it's a tight angle, just the wrong decision.
You guys might have the suspicion he was offside, but that's a goal kick that Dimitar Mitov's taken there.
Yeah.
So
he just looked at Liam.
Yeah.
Man, I thought he looked a yard offside, but you know.
Well, perhaps had it gone in, it would have, you know, that would have been proven after a review. But regardless, it remains goalless at Ibrox. 20 minutes in, Aberdeen have a free kick left of the centre circle, and looks like Malloy and Morrison in discussion with Mitov, so the goalkeeper's actually coming all the way up to take it. It's right up on the halfway line, left of the centre circle, and this might be the kind of situation, even though it's a free kick in their own half, where Stephen Robinson thinks Aberdeen might be able to do something tonight in an attacking sense. Mitov's going to launch this forward into the Rangers box, and he gives it straight to his opposite number, Jack Butland. Stephen Robinson thought that was going to be where Aberdeen could profit from tonight. It's going to have to be a whole lot better than that. It stays Rangers 0, Aberdeen 0.
That was a good decision, asking Mitov to take that. I can't understand it, because two centre backs sit back. You know, Morrison's maybe just at the club, but you'd have thought that they would have taken the responsibility. You don't need the goalkeeper to come out and give it to the other goalkeeper.
It is a Rangers ball wide on the right. Raskin low infield to Nadiri, right of the centre circle. Asgard's touch takes it out for a throw into Aberdeen, midway inside their own half, over on the left. Emmanuel Jamfi, one of the 4 alterations to the starting 11 for the visitors tonight, in for Mitchell Frame, who was given a call up to the Scotland under-21s during the week, celebrating by being dropped from the team. And Malloy throws it to Palaversa, who knocks it straight back over Malloy's head, out for a Rangers throw-in midway inside Aberdeen territory. Tilo Asgard has it and plays it infield to Moore. An advantage, there was a handball, but it's Moore now at the edge of the box. To the left of it for Romans, low ball in, blocked by Milne. Taking over Dylan Lobend as well to nick it to Palaversa, who is tripped by Tavernier. Free kick Aberdeen, midway inside their own half. Andy Palaversa's on the deck, having felt the force of the Tavernier challenge. It stays goalless, approaching the end of the first quarter of this one.
I think Romans was expecting the pass from Mikey Moore in behind the fullback, so he had a one-on-one with the goalie, and Mikey Moore didn't see the pass and didn't play it.
Mitov inside his own area. It's a long ball forward, the header away by Sharmiti. Nadiri holds off Aremu, turns it out to Romans wide in the left level with the edge of the centre circle, down the line for Nadiri, covering across is Milne, who puts it out for a Rangers throw-in level with the Aberdeen 18-yard line, main stand side. And two Romans is over it, and getting a little bit of movement from Chukwani. He's decided to bowl it back to Fernandez instead, and he plays it back short into his own half for Giga, right-footed, square ball to the right of the circle there for Tavernier. It's a long ball with the right foot which sails over Roman's head, out for an Aberdeen throw-in from this near side. It's not been a classic at Ibrox. It's Rangers 0, Aberdeen 0.
No, and that's not a hard pass for somebody with Tavernier's right foot. He's a good ability, a good, he delivers good balls. It's not a difficult pass that to overhit it by about 5 yards.
I'm just wondering where the threat's going to come from for Rangers, because they virtually no width at all. They haven't made any attempt to go down in a wide area and play the ball across your face. And when you've got, the 5 and the 3 centre backs in particular, and you're just going kind of a straight at them, then I'm sure Aberdeen, Stephen Robertson, at this moment of time will be reasonably happy.
Throwing Rangers right up the pitch level with the Aberdeen penalty spot. All these teams running out of games to make an impression. Heart and Midlothian are 7 games away from their first top flight title since 1960. Quite remarkable. Romans with the throw in into the Aberdeen box, headed away by Aremu. Back to Romans, takes a touch, gets the cross in with the left. Chermiti heads it back to the edge of the area. Raskan can't keep it alive, and out of Nisbet for Aberdeen, getting it from Palaversa. Out to Giamfi, gets away from Asgard, and then he's tripped by Tavernier. Free kick, might be booked here, Tavernier. That's the second in the space of a few minutes. Matty McDermott having a word with him. I think that's a final warning for James Tavernier before he is yellow carded. Could easily have been booked there, because I did wonder if the first one was a yellow.
It's pretty lenient, I would suggest, from the referee, because that's an opportunity for Aberdeen on the break. And Tavernier goes in, he's nowhere near the ball, takes Giamfi out completely. It's got to be a yellow card.
There's a free kick to Aberdeen, which Mitov will take. It's a similar situation when he just punted it through to Butland last time. Long from Mitov. Again. Yeah, well, Butland's not even bothering getting that. He's just put it out for the goal kick.
Okay. Think you should say, let's have one of the 3 centre-backs actually taking these free kicks now after the 2 efforts from the goalkeeper. I think I would be suggesting that, yeah.
You would think. It is Rangers on the ball with Fernandez, turns it back to his goalkeeper, to Butland, who turns it out to his right for Giga, and then square ball infield to Raskan. 25 and a half on the clock, 0-0, long ball for Moore, he's in behind Dylan Loban. Moore left hand side of the box. The Aberdeen youngster, another in the 21 squad, comes to meet him, but Moore gets the cross in, it's cleared on the 6-yard line. Breaks to Giga in the centre circle, right-footed ball out to the far side for Tavernier. We'll then move it back to Raskan. It's just going to be one of those evenings for Rangers with the looks of it. They're going to have to be patient as Asgard plays it through. Sharmiti, right hand side of the box, sits down Malloy, crosses and headed away on the 6-yard line by Milne. Chikwani keeps it going out to Tavernier on the right, and then back down the line to Raskan. Hearts had to be patient earlier at home to Dundee. Rangers having to be patient for the moment. 26 played, yet to make the breakthrough. Aberdeen haven't really threatened. As Moore picks up on this near side, shimmying away from Loban and moving it back to Fernandez, and then into his own half for Giga. How are you reading it at the moment, Ian?
Well, I think Rangers just need to, from a Rangers point of view, they're going for the title. They need to move the ball quicker. From the Aberdeen point of view, I think they look really, really well organised, but it is like a submarine coming here and sitting in. We're leaving 2 strikers at the park to try and play in the counter. Rangers need to use the ball quicker. They're not using it quick enough. And Willie's right. Down this left-hand side with Mikey Moore and Romans, it looks a little bit dangerous, but there's been nothing down the right-hand side, and to be honest, very little down the left-hand side. They're very narrow.
Dreadful ball out of defence by Milne. Rangers on it again. Tavernier gets the cross in. It's too high for Moore to be able to do anything with the header, and Romans can't keep it in play, and it's a goal kick to the Dons. Remains 0-0. 27 played. Willie, I was speaking to somebody in the Aberdeen camp who's not involved today. and he kind of felt that Hearts goal relatively late in the day at Dundee might deflate this place a little bit, because if Hearts had dropped points, he kind of felt that this place would be electric.
Yeah, you'd imagine that would be the case. You know, and the Rangers fans, Celtic fans would be disappointed that Derek McInnes' side managed to get that late winner. But you've got to put that behind you. You can't affect what's happening elsewhere. What you've got to do is make sure that you know, when the game comes around your way, that you're taking the 3 points. And so far it's been a bit of a struggle, I feel, for Rangers. Yeah, the opening 5 minutes, perhaps even maybe 10 minutes, the energy was there and they were causing Aberdeen a problem or two, but they haven't done that since you know, the early stages of this game. They've got to be better, you know, as Ian says, move the ball a bit quicker, perhaps be a little bit more direct at times as well.
Milne with a strong challenge there. Yellow cards out for the Aberdeen defender as he went in on Chikwani.
Right, I need the referee to phone me up and tell me what's the difference between that Tavernier tackle and the Jack Milne tackle. You know, that's it.
Free kick Rangers, then Raskan takes, comes back again. The Rangers supporters think there's too many negative balls being played by their team, and as Asgard gets it from Giga, the first yellow of the match goes to Aberdeen's Jack Milne. Asgard picks up on the right, pirouettes away from Palaversa. It's good play, drives away from him as well. Down the right, inside channel, it's a poor ball, looking for Moore though, straight to Geiger. Aremu takes over and moves across the pitch, rolls it to Dylan Lobin on this near side. It's a foul by Raskan though on Aremu. It's a free kick to Aberdeen, midway inside their own half. Right to centre, Rangers 0, Aberdeen 0, 29 on the clock.
I think that Asgard turn, I know he messed it up, it was a really poor pass, but his turn and getting away from somebody like that, got the team up 28, Rangers 20 yards, 25 yards off the pitch. You kind of need to have that now when Aberdeen are sitting in. You need to have somebody take somebody on and make something happen. You know, a little bit of individuality in the wider area. It doesn't seem to be happening for Rangers at all. Nice touch by Nisbet, he's inside his own half though, out to Geiger on this near side. Right of the centre circle, runs into traffic, pokes it back to Aremu, into the edge of his box for Morrison. He had a really shaky start to his Aberdeen career on loan from Queen's Park Rangers. As the ball by Milne out to Lobin, doesn't find him. Robbins with the challenge, it's out of play for a throw-in here to Aberdeen. Robbins thinks it should have gone the other way. It's Don's ball, and Milne stands over it down here. He's had his shaky moments this season as well, after such an impressive performance in that Scottish Cup final victory last May, which was only not even 10 months ago, yet it feels like a lifetime ago for the Aberdeen supporters. They've been put through the mill this season, and the thing is, they can't even at this point write it off and just get to the end of the season through the bottom six, because they are in serious danger of being sucked right into that battle to avoid the playoffs. They're in it, in fact. They are in it right now. As Raskan picks up in the near side and onto the touchline for Robbins, who plays it back to Fernandes midway inside his own half, and then back to Butland. It's another one of those balls back the way, and the groans from the home supporters around about us. This goes out to Asgard and then to Nadiri. This is what winning the game earlier in the day, or the day before, if you're in a title race, if you win the first game of the fixtures and the teams in the battle for it, this is what it does to the atmosphere here. Yeah, absolutely. And in that, when I was watching that there, Liam, you've got to think, I know the two centre-backs have been doing really well together on the defensive side of things, but John Suter, I think, is a better passer of the ball. He's a better long passer of the ball. He could maybe turn defence into attack just that little bit quicker. You know, horses for courses. But you're right, though. I mean, if you manage to win, whoever's got the earlier game, if you manage to win that, then it can affect, you know, the atmosphere and maybe the mood of some of the players. You never know.
Just makes everyone a little bit edgy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's out for a throw-in on this near side for Rangers. Of course, Celtic play tomorrow, so they'll have to react to the two title rivals doing whatever they do today. And they go to Dundee United. That's a 12:30 kick-off at Tannadice tomorrow. Aremu for Aberdeen, left of the centre circle, looking for Nisbet. It's gone right through him though, and Giga picks up. The thing is, Aberdeen are offering no threat, nothing.
No, they're not. Aremu doesn't help the situation there when, you know, he plays that one in behind rather than, you know, a little fine touch for Kevin Nisbet to run out onto. You know, Kevin Nisbet, not the quickest, doesn't really want to run in behind, but he'll run from side to side. He'll do an angled run as well. But just a very poor ball. It's been a poor game of football so far. I think an awful lot of unforced errors out there.
Play suits Aberdeen, that, because they have looked terrible in defence all season, but there's immediate signs last week against Falkirk that Stephen Robinson can make them more solid. But here come Rangers with Tavernier deep into enemy territory. It's played to Rascan, plays it back to Tavernier. Square ball for Chukwuani. He's encouraged to shoot. He does. It's blocked by Milne. It came flush off his face there. The third time. Appeal from the Rangers supporters for a penalty kick. Aremu gets it from Lobin on the near side, under pressure from Moore. Out to Lobin, lovely little shuffle away from Tier Romans. Great play by Dylan Lobin, looking to play it in behind Fernandes for Bilalovic. But again, there's just no quality in that area of the pitch for Aberdeen, and it comes right through to Fernandes, who rolls it back to Butland, who moves it to Tavernier, and now it's with Rascan. It is Rangers 0, Aberdeen 0, 33.5 played. Here's Moore for the home team. Lobin as well to block him. It's gone over the line, out for a Rangers throw-in on this near side. Aberdeen felt it was still in play. Mikey Moore's going to leave the throw to Romans. Nadiri moved into a good position to the left of the box. They didn't see him though. It's been bowled back into their own half for Fernandes, and now it's with Rascan. He moves it back to Fernandes. Rangers unbeaten in the last 13 league games since losing at Tynecastle just before Christmas. Not always victories. When they've been winning, it's not always been by a country mile, but trying to get the job done again here tonight. Tavernier's cross is blocked on the far side, and out it goes for a Rangers throw-in midway inside Aberdeen territory.
It's not been that difficult for Aberdeen to defend against Rangers. You know, I don't see, you know, the proper runs or the proper passes forward, and you know that back five is looking pretty solid so far.
Romans, he's away from Lobin, he's at the byline, he's in the box, pulls it back. Moore's efforts blocked by Morrison. Chukwuani scores though on the rebound. Right foot, side foot, bottom left corner. Rangers make the breakthrough. 10 minutes from half time. Rangers 1, Aberdeen 0. Huge goal for the home team.
And it came from a fantastic diagonal, you know, getting the ball from one side of the pitch to the other really early. I think it was Rascan that hit an inch perfect pass. I mean, Roman still had a lot to do, and he did it fantastically well. You know, got to the byline, and from then on somebody was going to have a chance. It was a really good finish, but it come from moving the ball a little bit quicker and getting it from one side of the pitch to the other side of the pitch.
And it's the first time any Rangers players has really went down the line, hit the byline and cut it back. A little bit fortunate with the first block, but it was well executed. A really good finish. Don't think that Mitov had any chance at all.
The second Rangers goal for Toti Chukwuani on his 11th appearance, the Danish under-21 international, who joined after a couple of years at Sturm Graz. He was a Sturm Graz player against both Rangers and Celtic in the Europa League this season. Sent off, in fact, against Celtic, the other side of the city. But Rangers making the breakthrough, and eventually their dominance of the ball has reaped the rewards, as Romans did very well, getting behind Dylan Lobin there. He caught the wrong side of the Rangers left back. The initial shot from Moore was blocked by Morrison, but Chukwuani on the rebound made no mistake from the edge of the box. Fine finish it was, and Rangers have a 1-0 lead, and Aberdeen's plan A is currently blowing down Edmiston Drive. Going to come up with something different. They are up the pitch here, and Emmanuel Jamfi has it with a throw-in level with the Rangers penalty spot behind the Aberdeen left as they attack the goal to the right. Pulled it to Malloy, who's closer to him. Back to Jamfi. Cross comes in and beats everyone in red, sails out on this near side. Dylan Lobin chases, but a futile chase, and it goes out for a Rangers throw-in on the near side. So Rangers are where they want to be right now.
It is, I don't know, I find it really frustrating watching modern footballers in terms of crossing the ball. I mean, crossing the ball isn't really that hard. A lot of people can't cross the ball anymore. I mean, how many times have we seen overhit ball? That, I mean, the one there, I mean, it was overhit by about 15 yards.
Yeah, and in you guys' day, the footballs were a lot heavier as well. Perhaps making it more difficult.
Well, in Willie's day, no, in my day.
You know, take umbrage about that, comparing our ages.
Yeah, you might well do, but I seem to remember you both playing in a League Cup final back in 1989 against each other, possibly the year before as well. Anyway, here come Rangers on the right. It's Nadiri out to Tavernier on the right. Now it's with Ascar with the outside of the right foot. The cross comes in, comes off Milne's head, back before his own goal. Mitov got caught in two minds there. Elected to run back towards his own goal. Aberdeen get it clear. But if a Rangers player had got onto that after Mitov's indecision, he could have been in for a second there.
Absolutely, and watching Chermiti there, all he did was watch him, and he was just caught. He's about 4 yards from the ball, but he was caught completely on his heels, and that's the type of a centre forward is walking onto that and finishing it.
And from a defensive point of view, there is nothing worse than your goalkeeper taking 3 steps forward. You think he's coming out. I think it was Morrison. He lets the ball drop because he feels that Mitov has got the situation under control. That was what I was saying before. The game, Mitov has got to take more responsibility. He's got to be better at moments like that.
Yeah, he broke into a moonwalk there, didn't he? He was on his way back to his goal line. He got away with that though, the Bulgarian, who was actually dropped for Per Christian Brockfight under Peter Leven after several errors, and he does look a little bit nervy. Should have been coming into this season with so much confidence after his shootout heroics in that Scottish Cup final last May. We played 39 minutes at Ibrox. Rangers with a 1-0 lead as they look to get back to within 3 points of the leaders' hearts, and for now at least go above Celtic ahead of their game at Tannadice tomorrow. Rangers on the ball as Tavernier shoots from distance. It's over the bar, 25 yards from goal with the right foot, right to centre, sails over and stays Rangers 1, Aberdeen 0.
I mean, watching young Mikey Moore playing after watching him at the start of the season is just fabulous. I mean, I'm not saying he's having a great game tonight, but he just looks, there's confidence coming out of every player. Every time he gets the ball, he's really comfortable in possession of it, drives, runs at people. It's not come off for him all the time, but it just, confidence is everything for a young player like that.
Yeah, you're beginning to see why he's so highly rated.
Absolutely. Yeah.
A header from Malloy into the midfield. Aremu, his flick goes straight to Ascardo, and Ascard's onto it. Turns away from Geiger, shift it to his left there for the goal scorer Chikwane on his right side. Stabs it back to Asgard. Aberdeen with in fact they've got everyone behind the ball now. It comes back to Raskan, infield to Tavernier, to Fernandez. Fernandez looking for an option in blue and white. He's got Romans on the near side. That's where it goes. Romans in field to Chikwane, back to Raskan, facing his own goal on the halfway line. Out it comes to Fernandez on the near side. Little flick down the line for Chikwane. Back up the line for Fernandez. Comes off Geiger and out for a Rangers throw-in on this near side. It's regarding the goal difference at the moment at the top of the table. Hearts 66 points. Goal difference plus 28. Rangers also plus 28. As Moore, lovely shuffle into the box away from Morrison, and a really important slide block there by Gavin Malloy to prevent Moore in for Rangers second as that goes out of play off Nadiri for our Aberdeen throw-in on this near side. Excellent play by Malloy because that looked 2-0 all night long.
It's too easy for Moore though to get into that position. Really shouldn't. He's good by. He just drifts by 2 Aberdeen defenders, and then Malloy from the left side of the pitch has got to come all the way over to make a desperate challenge. Really good challenge from the left side of the defender, but you know, from an Aberdeen point of view, from a defensive point of view, it was just far too easy for Moore to get into that position to have the strike.
Rangers free kick, foul there by Aremu on Chikwane, midway inside the Aberdeen half, taken quickly by Raskan to Moore, outside of the boot. He finds Chikwane in the box, left hand side of it, making for the byline. He's managed to dig his cross out. Ascar wasn't expecting it, just caught in 2 minds there. He's onto it now, over on the far side. Back with Tavernier, faced by Malloy. Short ball to Asgard, back to Raskan. Looks to try and make an angle for a potential cross. Instead he passes it to Tavernier. Under pressure from Aberdeen skipper for the night, Kevin Nisbet. And then out to Raskan. Little ball, first time into the Aberdeen box, blocked by Palaversa. breaks to Raskan, infield it comes to Asgard, now it's Tavernier, his effort saved by Mitov, breaks out to Moore, plays it with the right foot to the left hand side of the box for Romans, and then back to Moore just outside the area, flicks it forward to Shermiti, back to Moore, to the left angle of the box for Yusuf Shermiti, faced by Dylan Lobben, gets the cross in and cleared by Jamfi. Now it's Fernandez, poor touch, Palaversa's onto it, gets himself away from his man and finds Nisbet, he's got Geiger, Bilalovic ahead of him, Geiger delayed the pass for whatever reason, Bilalovic who got in behind, then he passes it straight to Giga and Rangers are able to clear. Bereft of confidence, Aberdeen, bereft of goals, bereft of threat, and that kind of sums it up. 43 on the clock just about, Rangers 1, Aberdeen 0.
It was he did hold up, but I thought the movement from Bilalovic was really poor. He didn't really do anything. He could maybe have moved away from the ball or away and then come right back across himself. But yeah, you're right. They do look, certainly in an attacking sense, devoid of some confidence, or a lot of confidence.
It's not a new problem for Aberdeen. There's Palaversa though, to try and get level before the break. Final 2 minutes of the first half. Palaversa's pass is poor and it's blocked by Giga, and Rangers clear, and it's won back by Malloy against Nadiri. Palaversa's got a second chance out to Jamfi. Thought about the early cross, it does come in now, but it doesn't beat the first man. Headed away by Fernandez, out for a throw-in down by the corner flag over on the far side, about level with the 6-yard line. It's Rangers 1, Aberdeen 0. We're 43 and a half into it. Looks like there will be a minimum of 2 added at the end of this first half. Here, the conditions absolutely perfect for the game. No breath of wind. I know it's an enclosed stadium, obviously, but hardly any wind at all. Clear skies above as dusk falls. In comes the throw-in into the box, helped on its way by Nisbet. It comes right through to Butland, who grabs onto it with both gloves in the 6-yard line. Comes to nothing. 45th minute, Rangers 1, Aberdeen 0. Willie Miller.
Yeah, very little threat from Aberdeen. I think the goal will set them back a little bit. They've recovered for it. They had a moment there where they were actually, in the final third and causing Rangers a problem. But it's only a throw-in, and the throw-in wasn't particularly good either. So, there's nowhere near enough of a threat for Aberdeen going forward. Defensively, they look okay, but it's more about just getting bodies back rather than anything else, and Rangers find it difficult to break them down.
It's with Asgard midway inside his own half after good work by Moore. Now it's Chukwani, rolls it to the left for Raskan, moves into the Aberdeen half. Left hand side, good ball infield there for Moore, away from Aremu, up to the edge of the box, looking for Romans, cut out by Milne. Geiger's onto it, plays it to Aremu, who's fouled by Romans. Free kick Aberdeen at the edge of their box. 1-0 to Rangers. Aberdeen took it too quickly for the ref's liking, and it will be a free kick to Aberdeen. It's deep inside their own half as we go into the first of those 2 minutes.
Moore is a really, really special talent. He really is, and he's from a bygone era as well. I tell you, he just wants to get the ball and beat people, which
he's got the Maurice Johnston socks on the go as well, hasn't he?
Well, that seems to be going around to everybody just now. There's a few players like that, Nadiri as well, and Asgard. But yeah, I think the boys just get loaded with talent. And I think he's quick, but I don't think his game's based on being lightning quick. I think it's based on being technically very good.
Do you not think at times though that they should leave more space for him? I think Rangers players in this first half, on too many occasions when he's 1v1, there's a Rangers player runs into the full back area, blocking the space for him to go and take advantage of it. It's just a thought.
No, yeah, I just don't think. I don't think he doesn't to me look like a winger. I think he wants to get the ball, and it is congested, Willie. There's no doubt about that.
He's on it here, and he's burning away from Geiger all the way up the pitch, the edge of the area, rolls it to the overlapping Romans, wraps his left foot round it, and it comes. Shermiti's touch though lets him down, and Palaversa clears. Fernandez strong against Bilalovic, who has barely had a touch. Here's Chukwani, left hand side of the Aberdeen box, rolls it infield to Moore, who plays it with the side foot back out to Romans on this near side touchline, and back up the line to Fernandez. And then he's looking to spring Moore here. He's in a bit of space. He's not quite managed to keep in play despite his best efforts. It is a goal kick to Aberdeen. It's 1-0 to Rangers. And that, Ian McCall's just about it for the first half.
Yeah, and listen, the game was going really, really flat, but I don't think you could say Rangers don't deserve this. If I'm an Aberdeen fan, or I'm part of Aberdeen, I've got to say I'm worried. I'm worried now at the bottom of this league, because I know Kevin Nisbet can score a goal, there's no doubt about that, but this is a tough place to come. Of course it is, and Rangers are going for the title, but I don't see they're going to score goals.
It is half-time at Ibrox. Rangers with the advantage. Tochi Chukwane's second goal in Rangers blue, separating the teams. That coming on 35 minutes on the rebound as he lashed home from the edge of the box. Rangers were struggling to break Aberdeen down at that point. Mitov hadn't had too many saves to make, but the Dons have offered nothing really in an attacking sense. The match statistics bear that out, and I mean, awful reading from an Aberdeen point of view. Rangers, yes, plus 70% possession, 11 shots to Aberdeen's none. Only 2 of those Rangers shots have been on target. Touches inside the box, Rangers 23, Aberdeen 1. That kind of sums up not just where Aberdeen are in this game of football, where they are in this 25-26 season, which could incredibly get even worse for them. But for Rangers, must win for them in the title race, reacting to Hearts' victory earlier. And at the midway point, they do have the lead as they look to go above Celtic and to within 3 of the leaders from the East. And at half-time in Govan, it's Rangers 1, Aberdeen 0.
The Scottish Premiership.
Live on Sports Sound.
Scottish football lives here.
On BBC Radio Scotland.
Thanks to Liam and the guys for that first half commentary. Rangers leading by a goal to nil. Tochi Chukwane's first league goal for Rangers, and it certainly settled some nerves by the sounds of it at Ibrox. It had been a relatively nervy affair in that opening half hour or thereabouts as Rangers struggled to break down Aberdeen, but ultimately Tochi Chukwane popping up with 10 minutes of the first half remaining to score the only goal of the game so far. And Ian, as you were saying in your summing up just before the whistle there, Rangers certainly deserving to be in front. I've written down 7 notes of chances and shots blocked, shots saved, including the goal, and Aberdeen, as Liam said, have had nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I had a lot of clear-cut chances, but as they started the game well and then kind of fell out of it, and you know, the crowd gets edgy because of the stage of season, because of what happened at Tynecastle today, and Celtic are above them in the league. They're not at this minute, you know. But once you get the goal, it looks like they could go on and score a second and a third. The only worry for me, they're really good down this left-hand side. You know, Ramos did great for the goal, and Mikey Moore, he can play. That boy can play, he really can. But the strikers, you know, a lot of the time they're not in between. They're not in the 6-yard box. A lot of the time they're not in between the posts where you can score goals from. Which, you know, Chermiti looks to me to be. Listen, I think he's done great at the big games. He looks to me a scorer of great goals and a great goal scorer, because he doesn't take up positions where he can score from. But you know, in terms of cutting Aberdeen open, it's basically been down this left-hand side, and you know, they've been a solid base. But listen, as Liam said in commentary, you know, after 25-30 minutes, the place was getting nervy. You could feel it. There's no doubt about that. And Aberdeen, I thought at that stage, looked reasonably comfortable. But as Willie will go on and tell you, I mean, really toothless Aberdeen. I mean, they look as if they're devoid of how they're going to make chances.
Yeah. On Chermiti, I think it was Andy Halliday who was saying in commentary last week that bizarrely, despite the goals he scored in the big games that you were talking about, and that, you know, the quality, obviously, the goals he scored, for instance, against Celtic, bizarrely, he still looks like a player short of confidence, a striker short of confidence. And the goal, the attempt he had, which he kind of snatched at, he put into the side netting, which I think might actually have been onside. I know you guys felt it was off initially, but you know, that kind of finish, and even the header which he had was a very good chance, which you also described accurately. You know, a striker brimming with confidence probably puts at least one of them in the back of the net, do they not?
Yeah, and I think your point is, Al, that scoring these great goals in big games, you'd have thought he'd be walking out with his shoulders back thinking, who are Aberdeen, I'm going to score. For me, it does come down to technique, and he may score a bundle of goals in the future, but he doesn't look. I mean, the chance you talked about when he slashed at it is, and Willie was right, he had time to get it on his right and put it in the far corner, and he slashed at it with his left foot, which is not his far weaker feet. He just doesn't, to me, look like a natural goal scorer. He doesn't look like a natural finisher. I must admit, I think the coaches will work with them, and you can coach how to get into better positions where you can score a goal from. But see, in terms of natural goal scorers, he certainly doesn't look like that to me.
Yeah, you've talked a lot about Mikey Moore there, and he is a player who, as the season has gone on, he has absolutely grown into that team, into the jersey, if you like, and he just kind of glides about the park, doesn't he? He is a special looking player.
He's magic to watch. I mean, he really is. And I think it's a great, you know, when you're trying to judge players, I think it's a great barometer of that type of player. The type of player he is, needs loads of confidence to do well. And his age, he needs even more confidence. At the start of the season, he looked like a wee boy lost. And now he's just like a magnet to the ball, and he's trying to be positive every time he gets the ball. Listen, whatever I think he's 18 now. He's 18 now.
He's 18,
yeah. So, I mean, it doesn't always come off. But I can't make up my mind whether he's absolute lightning quick or just quick. It's just that way he glides over the ground. But he's so positive, and he can play things round the corner. He can give he does wee give and goes. But you know what? I just love players that beat players, and you know, you don't get a lot of that these days in football, certainly in Scotland. And I mean, the boy's really, really talented. I mean, he's still got it all to do. You know, this is just his first season, but he's incredibly talented, and there looks to be an end product as well.
Yeah, he links well with Romans as well now down that
dangerous down that left side.
And just looking back at, they both had an involvement there in the goal, and Chukwani tucks it away pretty well. To be fair, Willie, you've had a few minutes to digest what you've seen in the first half.
Unfortunately, I've had 45 minutes to digest what I've seen. From an Aberdeen point of view.
Exactly. I mean, I spoke to you pre-match about the chances that Aberdeen created at Ibrox in January, but there's been absolutely no sign of that this time around.
No, nothing. I mean, going forward, they've offered nothing. The wing backs have been full backs basically. It's been a back five. They very rarely get forward. You know, they've been pinned back, but you know, if you get an opportunity, you've got to try and get up the park. If you're playing with the three central defenders, you've got to give the wing backs a bit of licence, certainly down one side, to you know, try to be a problem for the opposition, and they haven't been a problem. And in midfield, as you know, Palaversa's been nowhere near it. You know, I think Aremu is just sitting there, and he's pretty anonymous most of the time. Listen, he's an extra body that's making it difficult for Rangers to thread passes through, because they do enjoy, you know, going down the middle, and Aberdeen have got plenty of bodies there. Geiger has been non-existent as well, so your midfield has not functioned. Your wing backs have not engaged further forward the park, and hence should we be surprised that there's not any opportunities or chances being created from this bit in Bilalovic? I don't think Bilalovic is anywhere near it, to be honest. Any time I see him, I'm not so sure, you know, what he actually brings to the game. But he's had no service whatsoever, and Kevin Nisbet, yet again, no service whatsoever. So I think Aberdeen have made it difficult for Rangers. They haven't, you know, allowed them too much room. They've flooded the defensive third with bodies that makes it so. But you've got to offer some threat going forward, and I just don't think that they have offered any threat whatsoever. So that'll be concerning for Stephen Robinson. Am I surprised? No, I'm not surprised, because it's probably the type of performance that I've witnessed for the last year or so. There has been some, you know, very odd, good performances, but the majority of the time it's been a struggle in terms of creating chances. It's been a struggle in terms of taking any of the lean chances that have been created, and scoring goals have been pretty non-existent, particularly away from home.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll chat a little bit more about the first half just a moment or two, but I have been promising you post-match reaction from Hearts' earlier victory when they picked up that huge 3 points at home to Dundee, and the Hearts manager Derek McInnes has been speaking to our reporter Brian McLaughlin.
Well, Derek, 1-0 has been your mantra the last 4 games, and it was enough today again. What was your thoughts on how the game played out?
Yeah, obviously really pleased with the outcome. It was a tight game. You know, we've lost 1 goal in 4 games, and obviously that was at Kilmarnock last week. And I thought we have done a lot right to get a clean sheet. It's, you don't just get clean sheets. It doesn't come by chance. There's a lot of good work that's done on the periphery, but I thought we were the better team, but I would like us to be a bit more dominant in terms of creating chances. I thought we had a couple of really good chances in the first half that we should do better with. I thought we should have been asking the question more of them, because when we did put the ball in the box, I think we had 6 really good crosses in the first half, and it put them under a bit of stress and it caused a bit of uncertainty, and we needed to do that more. And I think the only save we've had to make from Alex was the free kick in the dying embers of the first half. And I thought, listen, Dundee's, they've got 2 very good wide players. They've got a striker who plays on the shoulder, as we spoke about. So on transitions, they were always a threat. But I think in the main, when on their build, I thought we were nice and controlled. We were, despite having the changes we had to make, and it was a wee bit out of kilter a wee bit at times, but I didn't think it really affected us in terms of our rhythm. It could have done. But I thought Leonard and Devlin ran the game from in there. We were just looking for a bit more quality in the top end of the pitch. And the quality comes from a set play, which is so important for us. That has been. We spoke yesterday at the team meeting about, can we be the best team at set plays between now and the end of the season with the teams running about us? So we're off to a good start. Delighted for Ross, set piece coach, because it's not been easy when the finger's getting pointed with that, and we do need to get back to being in. It's a brilliant header for Big Ocean, absolutely brilliant. A great cross for Mark Leonard, and there's quality and determination, and it's won the game for us. And it's hard to deny us the 3 points, because the determination is screaming out these boys. The extra bit of stress, we didn't have too much stress in the game, I'll be honest with that. The stress was coming for us to get a goal, but obviously when Frankie gets sent off and there's 2 minutes to go, just got to see those moments out, and seeing it out we did.
There was maybe an edge, certainly in the first half anyway, but you're just waiting on that first goal coming. But when you brought on Lauren Shankland and you've got Cammy Devlin on the pitch, the noise levels went up a notch, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think everybody was so pleased to see Cammy start. I was under strict instructions that we couldn't expose Lawrence to more than 35 minutes, 40 minutes, and right on cue. It was as soon as that time was there, but it was getting him on. I just felt we needed his experience, his quality, his know-how about the pitch. But you're right, part of it as well is the lift he gives everybody, because we all feel the same about Lawrence. Every Hearts supporter, all his teammates, all the staff, we feel so much better when he's there. He's a huge influence on our team. He's been a huge influence on things even when he's been out. Been a proper captain in the true sense here, and there's no doubt he's going to help our cause between now and the end of the season. I can't underplay it enough how important that is going to be. Not underplay it, but overstate it enough how important he's going to be between now and the end of the season. And to get him on the pitch and up and running, to see what the fans think of him, even though he didn't need reminded, but it was a magnificent to get him back on. Cammy, Benny back with huge positives. There's a few boys playing today that have not had a lot of football, and I'm as pleased with them as well, how they just dealt with the game. So we've gone through, we had a lot of challenges ahead of the game with injuries. I mean, everybody's focused on Cammy and Lawrence, I get that, but we were still without Finlay and Kingsley, we were still without Magnuson, we were without Harry Milne, then we lose Halkett. We'll get a few more back for Livingston in 15 days' time. We'll be a lot, the squad will be bolstered, and it'll come at just the right time. There's a lot what I'm liking about the team at the minute. I think Tynecastle will feel special at the minute. It does. I think the fans feel it when they walk in. I think the players feel it, and there's a kind of electricity going about the whole place. And there's that optimism, there's that belief. And if everybody believes as much as I do, I think we can have a real special end of the season.
Darren McInnes there after his side's 1-0 victory over Dundee earlier this afternoon. Oisin McEntee's goal giving them that victory, which ensures they will be top of the table going into the international break. Rangers doing their best to try and ensure they are only 3 points ahead of them. That is what they will be should Rangers hold on for victory this evening against Aberdeen. Celtic with the opportunity tomorrow to narrow the gap as well, and as things stand, Rangers will leapfrog Celtic for at least the intervening period until Celtic take on Dundee United, a match which will be live with us here on BBC Radio Scotland Sports Sound tomorrow lunchtime. Just a couple more thoughts from the guys ahead of the second half at Ibrox. Willie, you've talked about Aberdeen's failings in the first half. what do you think they can do to try and get more in a positive sense from the game?
I think they've got to get the wing backs further forward. You know, it's not particularly easy, I would suggest, you know, but they've got to try to make that effort of being a threat going forward, and I don't think their midfield have done it either, so maybe a change to midfield. And up top, I just don't think Bilalovic is the answer up there. I would like another partner for Kevin Nisbet, but it seems to be a holding pattern, a holding position that Aberdeen were in the first half. It was very much a case of getting, you know, bodies back. Aremu just sits in front of the back three, so you've got a really you know, strong middle there. And I thought that Rangers struggled, you know, a bit because they like going down the middle. In fact, their goal comes from a wide area, and that's where, you know, I thought that they might get a little bit of joy, and they eventually did. But for Aberdeen, it's just not good enough. It's okay, you know, being defensive minded and try to make it difficult for the opposition, but you've got to offer some kind of a threat going forward, and there is just no threat there. So I think Stephen Robertson will be looking at half time. He'll be looking at making changes, I'm sure, at half time. Surely he can't be happy with that performance, and you know, for the Aberdeen fans, a few Aberdeen fans that are down here, I think they need to see much better in terms of, you know, energy, enthusiasm, you know, linked up play, and just being a threat somewhere in the final third, just being a threat. They have shown no threat whatsoever out there. So, listen, I think the team in red has been a struggle. 45 minutes has been a struggle. They've got to try and make it better in the second half. Whether that will be a case or whether it will be an easy early evening outing for Rangers, time will tell.
Looks like Aberdeen are making maybe a couple of changes at the interval. I'll let Liam bring you full details of that. There's a choice of listening coming up now. Stick with us on Radio Scotland Extra 810 medium wave for second half commentary of Rangers against Aberdeen. That's live from Ibrox with Willie, Ian and Liam. It's also available online at the BBC Sports Scotland website. Take the Floor with Gary Innes will be coming up just after 7 o'clock on 92 to 95 FM and BBC Sounds. In the meantime, on those frequencies, I'll be bringing you further reaction from this afternoon's Premiership matches.
The Scottish Premiership.
Live on Sports Sound.
Scottish football lives here.
On BBC Radio Scotland.
Welcome back from Ibrox. Both sets of players are back out. Aberdeen do make that double change. Loban has come off, as has Bilalovic. The latter was the invisible man really in that first half. They've been replaced by Jensen and Olisanya, and it will be Aberdeen behind 1-0 to kick off. To Geiger, rolls it all the way back to Mitov, who's going to launch it forward with the right foot up towards Jamfi on this near side, nods it in field for Olisanya, knocked away by Chikwani, whose goal separates the teams, and out it goes for a throw-in on this near side. Aberdeen on 30 points coming into this one, the points tally of the 11th place side since the playoffs returned in 2014. The team that's finished in 11th, it's been 35, 36 a couple of times, 35 Hamilton, Partick Thistle 33, St Mirren 32, Kilmarnock 36, 35, 34, 35, 37. It's always round about the mid-30s. Aberdeen on 30 right now as Olisanya brings down Fernandez edge of box. No whistle, and then it does go eventually. And Rangers have a free kick. So the lineups: Butland in goal for Rangers, Tavernier, Giga, Fernandez, Romans, Asgard, Raskan, Chikwani and Moore, Sharmiti, Nadiri. Aberdeen, Mitov in goal, Milne who's on a booking, Morrison and Malloy, Jensen on for Loban, Palaversa, Aremu, Jamfi, Geiger, Nisbet, Olisanya. So Willie Miller, double change, and it's what you expected.
Yeah, well, I thought that Milalovic would, you know, make an early exit. Olisanya might, you know, give the Rangers defence something to think about. He's physical. He likes to run in behind as well. A little bit awkward as we saw giving away that free kick early, but at least I think he'll give the Rangers defence something to think about. I think Dylan Loban coming off, yeah, I think he struggled. It was a power play down the stand side, the side that he was playing, and he's put on a little bit more experience than Alexander Jensen, who hasn't been that impressive this season either.
Well, not many have in red, to be fair, as Asgard picks up a loose ball in the midfield, looking to thread it through to Sharmiti. Too much on it though, and right through to Mitov. Ian McCall, same as for Rangers, and again that is also to be expected.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, but Asgard, you're just frustrated there with Asgard, because you know that's a defence splitting pass, but that doesn't make it a hard pass. It wasn't a hard pass. He's overheard it by about 10 yards, and listen, I'm somebody that likes Asgard.
Be part of that Norway team at the World Cup. They also ended a wait since '98 to get there, as Nadiri comes forward for Rangers up the edge of the box, turns it to the left. It's Moore, he's on the left, he's on the right, he scores! 2-0! 2.5 into the second half, and Mikey Moore will have sealed a huge 3 points for the title challengers as they waltz through an increasingly looking beleaguered Aberdeen team. Moore in off the far post into the net, having picked it up on the left side of the box. It's Rangers 2, Aberdeen 0, and surely game over against a side that hasn't scored away from home since December.
Well, with that start, it definitely is. I mean, really good play from Nadiri. A word for Chermiti. He's made great. His run away from the ball was absolutely terrific. He knew he wasn't going to get it, but it created space for Mikey Moore, and we've been waxing lyrical about him at half time. And you always felt he was going to chop into his right foot and curl it, slew it into the far corner, and that's exactly what he did. And it's lit this place up. And you know what? For Aberdeen now, it's going to be a long 40 odd minutes.
That's a bit of quality though, isn't it? I mean, the finish was superb. The build-up, Aberdeen stretch, really stretched, but Nadiri making the right decision, picking out Moore. But Moore still having a lot of work to do, but he showed the composure just to take the touch, set the opportunity up, and then execute it perfectly.
You never know how important goal difference is going to be. That puts Rangers one ahead of Hearts right now as Nisbet shoots high over the bar from the edge of the penalty area, and that is a goal kick to the home team. 2-0 Rangers now, plus 29 on the goal difference, though 3 points behind Hearts. And I just wonder how much importance Danny Rule will put on his players scoring a few more this evening, Ian, after that.
Well, I think he's got to. I mean, the title race, we've all been talking about how tight it is, and how it shows no signs of not staying like that. So I think they've got to keep their best players on the pitch and go and try and score 3, 4, 5. And I'm not being disrespectful to Aberdeen, but it might come down to that last game of the season. It might come down to that.
And Willie for Stephen Robinson, he's made a double change at the break, and within a couple of minutes, bang, you're 2-0 down, and it's probably game over. Yeah,
you would think so. I mean, Aberdeen's had no threat whatsoever, so it would have to be a huge transformation for the visitors this evening. As for Rangers, we're getting that goal so early in the second half. It really throws down and asks questions of Aberdeen to see what kind of a character. Listen, they've shown no real character in the first half. They've shown no real ability, which is frightening. In the second half, can they dig deep and find something? Not so sure.
Jensen's cross is headed behind for a first Aberdeen corner of the evening, believe it or not, off Giga. And it will be taken by Palaversa in front of the Don supporters on the far side. They need to get something back here.
Well, just a couple of minutes ago, there was a ball laid to, because it was Kevin Nisbet. I mean, he's 25 yards, but it's rolled perfectly on his right foot to try and curl it, and he's missed the target. That was the first kind of half chance they've had for me.
Out-swinging corner, Palaversa to take. As Aberdeen go right to left towards the Broomloan Road end, and it comes. It's off a Rangers head behind for another corner over on the far side. The goal difference can be important at the bottom of the table as well, never mind the top. And Aberdeen currently 8 goals better off than St Mirren. That could quickly start to disappear though as the corner comes in. Butland claims on his 6-yard line comfortably. Rangers 2, Aberdeen 0. Here now under the lights in Glasgow.
Just a dreadful corner kick, isn't it, the second one? It's so easy for Butland under no pressure whatsoever. It's just lofted into the middle of the box. You'd expect the goalkeeper to claim it easily, and that's what he did.
How afraid should the Aberdeen supporters be right now, Willie? It's a club that's never been relegated in its entire history.
Yeah, well, they should be. To be perfectly honest, I didn't think it would go this way.
Well, Geiger might be in here, right hand side, he shoots, he scores! Aberdeen back in the game through Dennis Geiger. Rangers so slack, picked up in the midfield, threaded through to the German who did the rest, right side of the box, right footed, bottom left corner of the net to pull Aberdeen level back to within one within a few minutes with their first away goal since December, which came at Celtic Park, and an opportunity now perhaps to get something out of this. Incredibly, Rangers 2, Aberdeen 1.
It is incredible, isn't it? But I'll tell you what, another well taken goal from Geiger. He does have quality, that's for sure. The ball's threaded through to him. Rangers are all over the place. The midfield player manages to find a huge amount of space, and then he picks his spot with the right foot, far corner, slips it into the back of the net, and out of nowhere Aberdeen get themselves back in the game.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely terrific finish. You know, I think Raskin was guilty. I know it wasn't his direct error, but he was going way too deep to take the ball. I think they thought, well, we thought it was as well, the game was over, but there was certain slackness to the play, not just the pass that went straight to Aberdeen, the 2 or 3 passes before that.
I was going to say the Aberdeen reaction to going 2-0 down was pretty good. They've spent most of it since that second Rangers goal in the Rangers half, which is something they weren't doing much of in the first 45. But from a Rangers point of view, Danny Rowe will be so disappointed. Here's Asgard up the other end, rolls it square in field to Moore, who did get that second. Moves it to Tavernier to his right, little ball in field, blocked there by Malloy. As Moore tried to get onto it, Rangers clear, and Alessandra goes down. He was fouled, and Aberdeen have a free kick. Then just right to centre, and just a few yards away from the edge of the centre circle. 53.5 on the clock, 2-1 Rangers.
Well, they've made a game of it, Liam, that's for sure. You know, responding so well to going 2-0 down. Difficult situation to find himself in. You know, but Geiger's got a fair bit of experience, good quality as well. You know, he finds the space, he moves into the space, and he picks his spot brilliantly. Yeah. You know, and just slots it into the back of the net. So need more of that. You know, you've got Alessandra. I think he'll be more of a handful for Rangers to deal with than Bilalovic, that's for sure. And you know, a little bit of quality from Geiger in the midfield is giving Aberdeen a lifeline. First Aberdeen goal for Dennis Geiger. Here come Rangers down the right with Asgard deep into the Aberdeen half, right hand side of the box. Couple of step overs, right foot cross comes in, nobody in the end of it. It comes all the way through towards the corner flag, and Jensen will see it out for the throw to the visitors, who are remarkably Ian McCall back in the game here.
They are, absolutely. We did not see that coming, but there was a real sloppiness and slackness about Rangers play. They thought the game was over, and you know, credit Aberdeen for 2 or 3 minutes before that. I mean, that was the first time they were in the last third of the pitch, the attacking third of the pitch.
Well, it's given them hope, that's for sure. Hope that looked to have been extinguished.
Yeah, Geiger still hit, as Willie's right, he still had to finish. It was a brilliant finish, absolutely brilliant finish.
Foul there by Alessandra and Chikwani, left of the centre circle in the Aberdeen half. And Teo Romans is over the free kick. She's going to tap it back to the halfway line for Giga. Steps away from Nisbet. It's a risky move. It's paid off though. He's found Tavernier out to Asgard on the near side. Infield it comes, blocked there by Nisbet. And he's lost it, and Raskan tries to flick it into the path of Asgard. It's blocked too. The Rangers supporters remember only too well 2-0 up against Celtic here recently, dropped 2 points. But here's Moore into the box, he shoots, it's wide as he looked for that far corner again. Mitov scrambling a little bit, and it does go behind for the goal kick, and stays Rangers 2, Aberdeen 1 on 56.
He just looks the best outlet for Rangers, you know, to get the ball in Moore, and Romans gets by him and he cuts in, and I'll tell you what though, this is his poor Raskin I'm a huge fan of. I think he's up there with the best midfield players. He's been really poor tonight, giving the ball away 5-6 times, which is really unlike him.
Long ball from Mitov then from the goal kick, one in the air by Tavernier, heads it to the halfway line, blocked by Aremu, who's managed to feed it through towards Alessandra. He's got the pace, he's in between the 2 defenders. Left hand side of the box, he's at the byline now. Decides to turn it back to Jamfi on the left touchline. Shuffles away from Asgard, moving to the edge of the box. Emmanuel Jamfi, it's a poor touch, takes it right through, but I think it's been brought back here for a free kick to Aberdeen. about level with the edge of the D of the Rangers box. Left to centre, Willie.
Yeah, you know, he's taking it back for the original free kick, but the second was a dive. I don't think there was any doubt about that, but it was put off by the initial challenge, Gyamfi, as he ran into the box. And Ollie Sanya making a huge difference in the second half. Just a physical presence up there, and giving the Rangers defence something to think about. Don't know, is Nisbet going to have a go with this one, do you think? I was going to
say, you've seen a few of these, haven't you, Willie?
Yes.
And in recent times, Nisbet standing over the free kick.
I think he'll fancy it.
Just over 20 yards from goal, this. It is quite far to the left. Not quite round the angle of the box. A bit further infield than that. Nisbet's going to go for goal here, surely. Right-footed, here he goes. It's flicked off the wall and behind for the corner. A little bit more trajectory on that. He might have been troubling Jack Butland with it.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely fancied it, didn't he? But, you know, it was just too low. He didn't get... He wasn't accurate enough with the ball getting it over the wall. But it would have troubled Butland in goal if it had went over. But unfortunately, from an Aberdeen point of view, it didn't.
Palaversa then with the corner. In-swinger coming up from the Aberdeen left as they attack the goal to the left. It's a very deep one. Milne timed his jump wrongly and it goes over his head and behind for the goal kick. It comes to nothing. Rangers 2, Aberdeen 1.
Absolutely spot on. Milne was up about 3 seconds before he needed to be up, because if he'd have timed it, he would have been able to head it back into a dangerous area.
That Dennis Geiger goal, just the 11th Aberdeen have scored away from home this season. 6 of them came in 2 games, against Morton in the League Cup in August at Capello, and there were 3 at Dens against Dundee in December. It's incredible that they've been so poor in front of goal in their travels. Not been much better at Pittodrie either. Had that little run of 1 defeat in 10 in the autumn under Tillene, which has kept them out of the battle up until now. It's a battle they're in right now. Can they get something out of this match? It would be quite remarkable. Rangers would throw away a 2-goal lead again. Matthew McDermott boots Geiger for the foul on Giga. The Rangers supporters not happy because there was a clear advantage for Rangers there.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe he's brought it back just to boot the player, because Asgard was in behind the midfield, running at the back four with strikers running off him, and I don't think it's a bad, well, hopefully it's not a bad injury. Let the play go on and then come back and book him.
That's a poor decision, wasn't it, to stop the play there, and the Rangers fans certainly not happy with it. Rangers players wouldn't be happy with it too, because it was an error from the ref. You can book the player at any time.
Rollins rolls it out to the left for Moore. Midway inside the Aberdeen half now. Jinks infield, gets the ball released to the right side of the box. Tavernier, he's asking too much of him though. That's going to go behind for the goal kick to Aberdeen. It's 2-1 to Rangers. We are just about touching the hour mark here at Ibrox. Just wonder, there's talk about James Tavernier. Will he stay? Will he go? There's been plenty of that down the years, Ian. I just wonder, would you keep him?
Yeah, I mean,
given his age.
Yeah, I definitely would keep him, because you know, he's still a great option, particularly when you're at a club that's going to dominate possession of the ball, and certainly at home games in Ibrox, they're going to have a lot of the ball, as we've seen. What did you say at half time? It was 72% possession. Sorry, here we go.
Yeah, Moore left hand side, the Aberdeen box. He's got options in the middle, chips it back, looking for Chermiti, he evades him though, breaks the Tavernier at the edge of the box. He's it short to Chermiti, back to Raskan, scampers down the right side, finds Tavernier, frees himself of Nisbet. Rangers looking to restore their 2-goal lead. Tavernier goes down, free kick given, foul by Antti Palaversa. So a free kick almost level the edge of the D of the Aberdeen box for Rangers this time.
Just to end that one as well, Liam, I think he's very robust. He's obviously looks after himself and he's always there to be picked, whereas Dijon Sterling, which may well be the first choice right back now, you know, he just has horrendous luck with injuries, and he's not there to be picked all the time.
Another double change for Aberdeen coming up. We're going to be seeing Shinnie and Lazetic on shortly. Tavernier over the free kick. Stephen Robinson's telling Toyosi Olisanya to push up a little bit here. Tavernier then to take. One man Geiger wall. Tavernier, delicate deliveries, flicked half away and snapped home by Raskan. And Rangers do have their 2-goal lead back. Nikola Raskan's not had his best game in a Rangers jersey. But that goal could be so vital for the hosts in this battle for the title. It is Rangers 3, Aberdeen 1.
Right on cue with Tavernier. I mean, the ball into the box is just absolutely on the money. We're just waiting to be attacked. I thought there was maybe a free kick there. I thought there might have been an infringement in the box, but again, it's faulting Raskan. Second ball, and he's dispatched it comfortably. Great delivery into the box, brilliant.
Yeah, difficult to defend against, but you've got to be stronger there. You know, I think Aberdeen defence has got to be stronger, but the quality of the ball into the box, right up there at the very top end of it. And Raskin's finish is perfect, isn't it? They're checking something, but he just sees the ball bounce in front, goal's given, and he just kind of volleys it. It looks as though he's just volleyed it with the instep, picked his spot, really well taken goal.
And 3-1 Rangers before Stephen Robinson could make his latest 2 changes. I think he will still be making both of those. As Malloy knocks the ball high forward, it breaks to Tavernier in this near side. Palaversa with a header, finds Olasanya, couldn't quite work it to Nisbet, he's still battling for it with Jiga. Olasanya emerges with it, Tavernier just blasts it clear out to the far side. Another goal conceded from a set play from an Aberdeen point of view as Moore, lovely turn away from Milne. He's got the jet heels on, burning up towards the edge of the Aberdeen box. Red jerseys in front of him now as he turns it out to the left hand side for Romans. Now with Moore again. We've seen the best of him now from the Rangers supporters. He's on it again on the far side. In comes the ball looking for Asgard, headed away by Malloy. And Geiger sweeps it forward for Nisbet. Can't return the favour though, and it's with Raskan. He goes all the way back into his own half for Fernandez. So Rangers 3-1 up. We thought they would be on course to win the game at 2-0. They've got that 2-goal lead back. They'll look for another here. It's Asgard, the edge of the Aberdeen box. Out wide right for Shermiti. Back to Tavernier. Dinks it in. Mitov's going to eventually gather it. Stays Rangers 3, Aberdeen 1 on 64 minutes.
Again, I don't know about Willie thinks Chermiti, the positions he's taking up, that was him out wide right there. He was wide left in the first half. When Tavernier crosses that ball into the box, you want him in there heading it into the net. I know that sounds really simplistic, but he is a number 9.
Keep it simple, keep in between the sticks. You're right. I mean, if you want to score goals, I think that's where you should be. Maybe kind of overthinking it and moving into wide areas, and that's not his strengths, is it? You know, his strength should be, somewhere in the box, looking for that cross from Tavernier to get in the end of it with his head.
Afi Zaremu's down receiving treatment. He was stretching his leg out. He's had fitness issues. Didn't arrive anywhere near match fit, as a lot of the Aberdeen winter arrivals did. But he's down receiving some treatment. He's talking about the current Rangers number 9 there, Shermiti, perhaps not staying where his manager would like him to be in the box in the end, scoring goals. The previous number 9's predecessor as number 9 was Cyril Dessers, who was never really taken by, the Rangers supporters never really took to him.
No.
Despite the fact he was nigh on 30 goals last season.
Yeah.
He was one of those strikers who just waited in the box for the chances.
He was, but he was another one that needed another. I mind you, Willie would have played against Alan McCoy. Alan McCoy's needed, I hope he doesn't mind me saying, he needed a few chances to score, but if he got 5 he'd get 3 goals. But I mean, that was the same with Dessers. I covered the game at Dens, I can't remember what the score was, and Dessers, I think he scored the winner in the 4-3 game in the very last minute, and honestly that was his 9th chance of the game, and he became the hero because he scored the winner in the 93rd minute. But it is a lot of goals, it's certainly a lot of goals.
You're talking about keeping it simple though, Ian, but surely as a striker that's where you want to be. You want to be in that danger area. You don't want to be drifting away. Maybe every now and again you would do it, but not on a regular basis. If you're hungry for goals, and I played against a lot of strikers that were hungry for goals, and that's where they wanted to be. They wanted to be in the middle, not out in the wide area.
Remu's come back on for now. Topi Keskinen's being readied as well now, so it'll be a triple change for Aberdeen. It's coming now. They trail 3-1, 66.5 on the clock. So Remu is coming off. Also coming off is Palaversa, and Nisbet is being withdrawn too. So Keskinen, Shinnie and Lazetic replace them. Rangers 3, Aberdeen 1. The Dons heading for another defeat. They've at least managed to score an away goal this evening. But it's going to be, all told, 1 win in 15 games.
Yeah, I think Lazetic and Olasanya, they're both, although I think Lazetic wants to make it a physical battle instead of trying to move himself away from centre-backs at times. But, I think these two have got a much more physical presence. And the one thing about Keskinen is he'll get you up the park. He's a ball carrier. What he does once he gets up there isn't particularly pleasing, I must say, but he does get you up the park.
Geiger losing out the far side. Rangers have it back, and it's Chukwani driving down the left-hand side away from Jensen. Keskinen trying to help him out. Still it's Chukwani, and sliding in Jack Milne to put it out for a Rangers throw-in level with the Aberdeen penalty spot. On the far side, we're into the final quarter of the game. Rangers 3, Aberdeen 1.
That was great play again. Just like Willie said about Keskinen, and they got him right up the pitch there. He travelled with the ball 50-60 yards, throwing in the last third of the field.
Throw in, Rangers into the Aberdeen box. It's found its way to Chermiti, and they're wanting another handball appeal there.
It did look like
I was thinking that's probably the strongest appeal of the night for a Rangers penalty. Aberdeen have got it away. Rangers have it back inside their own half now with Giga. It goes all the way back to Butland. It just seemed to bounce off the Aberdeen defender quite awkwardly. I'm not sure if it was Jack Milne who was the Dons player in question. And then Giampi's gone in late there. He's going after the ball. The yellow card's already out. And the Aberdeen fullback's going to be booked here. And we're right behind that, Ian.
I'm thinking the foul must be for Aberdeen though. Because I think it was either Giga got himself in trouble and pulled the man back before the tackle came in. Might be wrong.
Well, the ref is going to book Giampi. She suggests it's gone the other way. It was Chukwani who he's gone through. It looked like a 50-50 from where we were. But they're having a little look to see if this should be a red, not the yellow that was administered there. Rangers leading 3-1 already against Aberdeen with 21 to play. Could this be red rather than yellow for Giampi? But there's also the handball, isn't there, from earlier, the potential penalty appeal. So I think it was the challenge they were looking at. The handball appeal hasn't arisen there in the check that was ongoing, so they're happy with the decision to book Giampi for that. It's a Rangers free kick which Butland's going to take just beyond the midway point of his own half. Just over 20 minutes to play at Ibrox. Right-footed from Butland out to the left angle of the penalty area. It's broken into the Aberdeen box, and there's the latest appeal for a handball. The Dons penalty area. As Giga gets there ahead of Lazetic and sends it into the Govan stand on the far side for an Aberdeen throw-in.
I think it's VAR that's done that every single handball in the box now, just the stadium goes mental. I think it is.
Not sure that's actually changing what's happened though. Oliver Antman's going to be on for Rangers in a moment as Liam Morrison picks up and squares it to Milne. He plays it out to the right side. Geiger infield to Jensen. And back over there with Geiger. He finds Milne out to Jensen on the far side. His ball up the line's weak. And it goes straight to Robbins. He finds Moore. Turns infield to Raskan. Little flick there by Chermiti's good. Back to Moore, out to the left. Robbins to Chermiti. First time ball back out to Raskan. Forward to Chermiti. Gets himself away from Geiger and finds Moore. Here he goes again. Mikey Moore, he's fancying this. He's popped into the box looking for Raskan, but it's cleared there by Liam Morrison. It stays Rangers 3, Aberdeen 1. Rangers have it again. This time they do get an advantage. The ref's going to bring it back for the free kick now because they couldn't take advantage of that. It's a Rangers free kick in a decent attacking position.
Mikey Moore's kind of playing as if he's down the park. He's just getting the ball and running at people and trying to make things happen. It's magic to watch, absolutely magic.
But it's a perfect game for him to be able to try that, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. But I think he has done this, on a lot of occasions since his confidence got right. I think that's why the Rangers fans seem to adore him.
It's the worst thing you want as a defender as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Big line of players along the Aberdeen 18-yard line. Robbins with the free kick left to centre, into the box it comes. It's an Aberdeen head that wins it. And on this near side, it's won back for Aberdeen by Lazetic. He's done a good defensive job there, actually. The big striker goes out for an Aberdeen throw-in off Nadiri. And a change coming for Rangers. I mentioned Oliver Antman was going to be coming on, and he's going to replace Thilo Asgard. Crowd of 50,970 inside Ibrox for this one. And Rangers make that change. Asgard off, Antman on. Ian.
Yeah, but just more of a wide player, isn't he? You've seen Asgard. He's had a lot of good touches tonight, one or two daft things, but he has got good feet and he does take up good positions. Antman, but just looking to get the ball in the wider areas and get at people.
Lazetic on this near side, losing out to Raskan. That's going out for a throw-in to Rangers on this near side, despite the protests of Lazetic. He arrived last summer relatively late in the window from AC Milan. And yet to see why AC Milan signed him, other than that magnificent goal in Paisley, which he scored against Stephen Robinson St Mirren. He goes out for a throw-in on the near side. The Rangers high up the pitch. Antman takes it quickly to Tavernier. Back to Antman to Tavernier. Tavernier goes for the byline. Morrison sees it behind. Goal kick Aberdeen. 3-1 to Rangers. 73.5 on the clock.
Yeah, and I think as well about the Aberdeen goal, we've got to remember there was a great finish, a great pass, but it all came from Rangers.
Yeah.
It's not as if Aberdeen cut them open, which goes to your stat about when was the last away goal he scored. Was it
December?
I mean, that's just mad.
They've at least got rid of that statistic. The wait's going to go on for a win. They've got St Mirren away, followed by Hibs at home before the split, and then it's dog eat dog. My goodness, both splits, both halves of the league after the split are going to be captivating. Very different reasons. Here's Jensen on the right for Aberdeen, midway inside the Rangers half. Low ball back to Milne. Plays it to the right of the centre circle for Shinnie. It's a big switch looking for Jamfi on the near side. Nodded the header towards Lazetic, cut out by Tavernier, and then Antman turns it back to Giga at the edge of his box. Well, he's been barged to death by Lasagna, which gets him out of jail because he didn't deal with the bounce at all well at the edge of his penalty area. And Giga and Fernandez at times have a lot of convincing to do. Still pretty young, but that's a dodgy one for Giga this time. Fernandez has had a few of them tonight.
Yeah, I mean Giga dwells on it, doesn't deal with it. But Olasanya's got to show more grey stuff up top, is he not? He just barges, he wipes him out. It's a total wipeout. So you've got a player that's struggling to get the ball under control, and the Aberdeen centre forward just wipes him out and allows him the opportunity from just outside his box in a difficult position to then just calm the whole thing down and he gives away the free kick. It's incredible. Think about the game.
Final 15 minutes of the 90 at Ibrox. Remember, tomorrow Dundee United against Celtic, 12:30 kick-off at Tannadice. Full coverage on Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland, including here on Extra, 810 medium wave. Long ball Rangers. Milne does enough to head it back to Mitov. That's, this is looking like a Rangers victory, Willie. That game in Paisley after the international break, my goodness. St Mirren against Aberdeen.
Looking forward to it.
Moore on the outside of the boot, straight through to Mitov. Are you sure? You sure about that?
I am. Well, you've got the manager going back to the old hunting ground as well, haven't you? It should be interesting to see how he's treated.
Shinnie looking for Keskinen, right hand side of the box. A low ball across, chance in the back post. Lazetic side net. It's got to do better. And Olasanya's waiting in the middle as well. It stays Rangers 3, Aberdeen 1. That was the chance to get back into it again.
You're saying he's got to do better. He's got to score. He's got to score.
It's a huge opportunity for him, and Keskinen actually delivers on this occasion, going to the byline and cutting it across. Now he's got two options. He could try to play it back to Olasanya, who looks as though he was in a decent position. But from that position, he's just wide of the goal. Again, he goes into the side net. Why doesn't he, try to go across the face of the goal? I think he's got a real good chance of beating Butland if he does that. But I just think it's just poor quality from him. Poor finishing, absolutely.
That's another striker playing with zero confidence. Rangers still have that 2-goal cushion heading towards the closing stages. Olasanya looking for Keskinen, he's on to it now, and he's driving it. Fernandez, he's in the box. Topi Keskinen shoots, blocked, corner. Well, he's added something as the Finn on the right side.
Yeah, well, genuine pace. You saw it there. He just burned away from his man, and he's been really positive in the last third of the pitch.
He could be a player. See if he could add. If he could add, his decision making and his finishing to the work that he does from even his own half to the opposition penalty box, then he would be a real player.
Spent about £800,000 bringing it into the club. Geiger's corner. Butland's not made the best of that, though he's got a little helping hand with a head. Rangers knock it clear. Morrison turns it back into the centre circle for Gyamfi. His long ball's cleared. Ajiga breaks to Morrison, squares it to Jensen. Still in the Rangers half, out to the right side it goes for Geiger. He's looking for a free kick for Handball. He's going to get it as well, and it's a good job that he did get it, because Raskan was racing away with the ball into space. 12 minutes to the 90 to play. Rangers 3, Aberdeen 1. Geiger takes the free kick quickly, short down the line for Keskinen. The ref's not ready.
Should be ready. I don't see anything wrong with taking that free kick at that time.
Graham Shinnie over it. This might be coming into the box here. Aberdeen needs something to happen here for them. Stand a chance of the grandstand finish, and it comes again all the way through to Butland. He can claim comfortably. Still 3-1 Rangers.
Poor delivery, isn't it, from Graham Shinnie? You want to at least test the Rangers defence, and when you hit it right on top of the goalkeeper, you don't do that.
Good challenge there by Gyamfi and Antman down the near side. Lazatic slides into it, get there ahead of Tavernier. It's now in field to Shinnie. Probably Aberdeen's best spell in the game, in truth. Shinnie's fouled. It's inside his own half by Antman. Left of the centre circle. Geiger took it, but he took it too far forward this time for referee McDermott's liking. So a decent 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Absolutely. I think Keskinen on the far side has done well in that small period. I mean, you're looking for small gains for Aberdeen, really, but certainly it has been better in the last 5 or 6 minutes.
How do you view that playoff spot just now, Ian? Willie said earlier he's worried. What do you think?
Well, I don't. I think the two Dundee teams are still in it. But there's only 7 points between 5 teams. So I would worry about Aberdeen right now. But I mean, I've seen them tonight, and I saw them, the three of us together against Dunfermline, and I don't think that was them at their best, obviously. But here's Keskinen again. He's causing a real problem for Rangers.
Yeah, driving into the Rangers box, right hand side of it, pulls it back to Olasanya, takes a touch with the right and smashes it high over the bar.
An end product there as well. Well, he cut it back right to Olasanya there. That was good play.
Yeah, normally he doesn't do that, though. He doesn't pick out a red jersey. But see the work that he's doing, Ian. See the work that he's doing from even in his own half when he picks it up and he drives forward. He's so direct and determined. Yeah. It's just the final pass that lets him down. But he's made a huge difference coming on. Yeah.
Right, changes for Rangers. Former Aberdeen midfielder Conor Barron is coming on, as is Jayden Meghoma. And Chikwani, who got the opening goal tonight, is coming off. Tjorn Rommins, who helped set it up, is also coming off. Rangers leading 3-1, and we are into the final 10 minutes here in Glasgow.
I think Conor Barron will give him that calmness in the midfield. I think Aberdeen have had a decent spell in the last 5-10 minutes or so, and I think what Danny Rowe's just trying to do is get a grip and control the game a little bit more, and Conor Barron can certainly do that.
Goal kick for Rangers, which Butland will take. No massive hurry to do so. Rangers scored their second early in the second half. We were talking about them potentially going on, trying to put Aberdeen to the sword and boost their goal difference. It's not really worked out that way. Dennis Geiger scoring to bring Aberdeen back into the equation. A lot to do with that. But Rangers sloppiness. Here's Raskin who got their third. Forward he comes, moves it to the left of the D of the Aberdeen box. Straight to Jensen though. He's got Keskinen away, then it's his jersey pulled. He make home at free kick Aberdeen. Rangers fans annoyed with that decision, but it looked pretty cut and dried. Aberdeen have the free kick which Shinnie takes. Moves it back to Morrison, squares it to Milne. Then back to Liam Morrison, right-footed low ball out to Jamfi on this near side. Turns away infield from Ant-Man and then back into his own half with the left foot for Morrison. And then to Milne. Out to the right side for Jensen. Infield for Geiger. To Morrison. And even if they scored now, Aberdeen, perhaps the recent memories of that game against Celtic here would come back into the heads of the Rangers players, but Aberdeen giving it away, and it's Sharmiti who finds Nadiri, who's driving forward here into a bit of space at the edge of the Dons box. Pokes it out wide right for Ant-Man to cross in. Nadiri's header, and Mikov holds on pretty comfortably. It stays Rangers 3, Aberdeen 1, but they cut through them so simply there.
Yeah, I mean, good play with Nadiri, and both strikers in between the posts there in the box. Good cross from Ant-Man as well.
Jensen forward for Aberdeen, looking to play in Olasanya, but Fernandez blocks it. Stood his line. The Rangers left centre back, and now it's with Raskan. Fires it into the feet of Ant-Man and back to Raskan, who finds Sharmiti. Now Ant-Man again just outside the centre circle in the Rangers half. Back to Raskan, out to Tavernier. The Rangers fans want more goals. And if this title's decided on goal difference, just know which goal in particular is going to have the biggest say of all.
Yeah, I know, and to tell you, Raskan's looked like a different player since he scored. He's been terrific.
You slaughtered him, you mean?
Aye, well, basically, yeah. I did qualify by saying I think he's one of the best, if not the best midfield player in Scotland just now.
You did, to be fair. It is Dimitar Mitov at the edge of his box. Rolls it with the right foot to Morrison to his left. And Morrison in field to Shinnie. It's left of the centre circle, looks up, long left-footed ping ball out to Keskinen. He finds himself in space again. It's one of Stephen Robinson's regretting not starting Keskinen on this big pitch as he wins the throw-in up the pitch on the far side against Moore. Takes it quickly back to Jensen. Lovely shimmy away from Moore. Gets his cross in. Looking for Jampi. The header away by Tavernier, and the foul by Jampi, says the referee. Free kick Rangers deep inside of their own box. Pretty much a goal kick here. It's right in the 6-yard line. It's Rangers 3, Aberdeen 1. 84.5 minutes on the clock.
It's been a good little spell for Aberdeen though, hasn't it? I mean, at least they're showing a bit of energy, a bit of desire to get forward. You know, their two front players are physical specimens. I think Jampi down this left-hand side has begun to take part in the game and getting himself forward. And I think Keskinen has been a bit of a revelation since coming on. He's really managed to get Aberdeen up the park on what a good half-dozen 8 occasions where, you know, up until the point he came on, they didn't look like doing that.
Right. Final changes for Rangers. Sharmiti will be replaced by the former Aberdeen striker Bojan Mijovski, with JD Gassama coming on for Mikey Moore. Mijovski coming on. I mean, how Aberdeen would love to have a striker of him in his prime form as he was for most of his time at Pittodrie. I mean, to be fair, the Aberdeen teams he was in, out with the end of that campaign, 22-23, they weren't exactly pulling up trees while he was there, but he himself had a very impressive goal-scoring record that got him that move to Girona in Spain. Failed there. He's ended up at Ibrox, and he's been on the periphery of things here. Sharmiti's been preferred to him. Nadiri now ahead of him as well, and he's on against his old team. Long ball Butland headed away by Milne, breaks to Jaden McHome on the left, faced by Keskinen, and then rolls it back to Barron, who was all the way back to Fernandez. Rangers 3, Aberdeen 1. And whilst we're talking about the ills of Aberdeen and the problems they've got at the bottom of the table, this is going to be a crucial victory for Rangers, reacting in the best possible way to that Hearts victory earlier. Geiger for Aberdeen trying to stab it to the edge of the box, looking for Olasanya, cut out by Barron as Ant-Man dances away from Olasanya up towards the halfway line. He goes down, but he's managed to pop it out to Gassama, back to Ant-Man's brilliant play by Rangers, and it's brilliant from Oliver Ant-Man. Finds Miovski, right hand side of the box, he's on the left foot, he shoots and Mitov holds on down low to his left. Rangers 3, Aberdeen 1, probably the best counter-attack of the game perhaps.
Yeah, Miovski's done well. He's done the one where he kids on, he's going to curl it and hope the defender stretches and then reverses back through his legs to catch the goalie out. Goalie read it and did quite well. It was a really good play though.
Ant-Man was brilliant, wasn't he?
Absolutely.
Down the left hand side. What a drive, determination, good pace as well.
Right, so Rangers looking good for the 3 points here. Ian, Celtic go to Dundee United tomorrow. Hearts beat Dundee earlier. How are you reading it with 2 of them will have 7 games to go?
Well, I don't know what Willie thought. At the start of the weekend, I fancied all 3 teams at the top to win, not comfortably. Every single game will be hard now, but I still think Celtic will have enough to go to Tannadice and will win. Well, here we go.
Gassama from distance, and he fires it wide. A really good hit from 25 yards by Didi Gassama. He's in a central position, and it's whizzed past that right-hand post and stays Rangers 3, Aberdeen 1 and 87.5.
And it just opened up for him, didn't it? Gassama, and hey, he's not far away. That one looked as though it was just inches past the post.
Nobody's played. Sorry, Will.
It's all.
Thought you were finished.
It's quite all right. I was watching Ian's gestures and tell me how far by the post it was.
Nobody's played more games for Rangers this season. Gassama worked under Danny Rule at Sheffield Wednesday last season as well. As Morrison digs a ball out, now it's Milne who gets it forward to Shinnie. Keskinen wanted it early, Shinnie's delayed it now as the Aberdeen captain crosses the halfway line. Out to Keskinen, little ball looking for Jensen, but it's too much on it, goes behind the byline for a goal kick to Rangers, who lead 3-1. Ian just telling us that he expected the top 3 all to win this weekend. 2 out of the 3 will have done by the close of business today.
Yeah, and on paper I think you'd say, the football's not on paper at this time of the season. Willie probably knows a lot better than me, but Tannadice on paper looks the most difficult fixture of the 3. But you just think Celtic are on a wee bit of a roll just now with all those difficult away games they had that they got through, and prolong it for another week as tight it is, and I don't see it changing from now right at the end of the season how tight it is. That's a wee bit disappointing. Motherwell's fallen away, but there we are.
Yeah, draw with Hibs earlier today. Motherwell, when they did the ball in the net, was ruled out after a VAR check. And that one, Falkirk 1, St Mirren 2, Kilmarnock 2, Livingston 0, Hearts 1, Dundee 0. That goalless drop for Park. Rangers looking for a 4th here as they come forward, but it's Shinnie who emerges on it. The clearance from Jampi comes off Barron, breaks to Raskan. We're in the 90th minute as he dinks it to the left-hand side of the box, looking for Miovski. Jensen gets there first, but Gassama bullies Jensen off the ball. Gassama attacking the left side of the box. He comes into it now, looking to get along the 6-yard line. Laid back chance. Miovski scores against his old team to rub salt in the wounds of the relegation haunted Dons. The title chasing Rangers though score what might end up in the shake-up being a massive 4th goal tonight. Rangers 4, Aberdeen 1, and to make it worse for the visitors, it's Bojan Miovski.
It certainly is, and I've watched him play, and I've seen many goals like that from Miovski in a red jersey, and when he gets the opportunity, really good play down the left-hand side, but when it pops to him, I don't think there's any doubt in my mind that he's going to finish it, and it's perfect. He just lashes it into the roof of the net. Wonderfully well taken, but a really good build-up down the left-hand side from Rangers as well.
Yeah, I mean, terrific finish, and how important would that goal be? We are at that stage. I mean, again, are they checking it, Liam? I don't know, but
yeah, they are.
Gassama was.
They are.
Yeah, when Gassama out-muscled somebody with aggression.
It was Jensen, yeah.
Yeah, it's not really his game, so.
It's a handball they're looking at, though.
Oh, is it handball?
Handball.
I didn't spot that, but they are having a look. And it this as we speak. Possible handball.
When you look at Miovski's goal scoring record at Aberdeen, and he's on the bench, the embarrassment of riches the Rangers have got. You know, you've got a guy that costs 8-9 million, you've got another guy that costs 5 million, you've got Miovski who scored whatever he scored at Aberdeen, 48 goals in 80 games or whatever it was, to come off the bench. I mean, yeah.
There's going to be an on-field review here, and the supporters all know that now as Matty McDermott makes his way over. Have a look at this himself. It's not going to affect the outcome of the game. Bojan Miovski stands hands on hips on the halfway line. I think he knows what might be coming here. Ant-Man comes over to take on some water. Rangers already 3-1 up. They're going to be winning the match. They're going to be picking up the 3 points to go back to within 3 of Hearts. And referee McDermott's seen enough as he makes his way back onto the pitch, and he has ruled the goal out. No goal. So Aberdeen at least didn't have to suffer Bojan Miovski scoring, as that is wiped from the ledger, Willie Miller.
Yes, and you know, I didn't see anything. We don't have any replays here, obviously. VAR does, and that's a decision, but I don't know.
It's come off Connor Barron's hand, apparently.
Where did they take the free kick from? They took the free kick from you know, halfway from the Aberdeen goal towards the halfway line, so I'm not too sure if that should have actually happened, but at the same time, if it has come off his hand, then it's come off his hand. But from where we're sitting, we couldn't see that. We thought it might have been Osama shoulder charge with Jensen. Didn't think that was a free kick, but it's handball. It's a handball.
It's whether they lose the title to Hearts or Celtic by 1 goal scored.
That's why they're annoyed. That's the problem, but it's the correct decision. Rangers 3, Aberdeen 1. Then we played 3 minutes of stoppage time. 4 were added, but there'll be another minute or 2 on top of that, given the length of time it took them to come to that decision. Olasanya fouls Tavernier on the near side, and Stephen Robinson, he's going to have to stew on this for a couple of weeks. Remember, the international break is upon us now after this weekend. He's going to be thinking a heck of a lot about a very, very quick return to Paisley.
Yeah.
And a crucial match.
I'm sure he'll be treated nice and gently by the fans in Paisley.
Before the match, absolutely.
I think he should do as well, but you know what like fans are. He did a fantastic job down there. We've still got a trophy lying in the cabinet as well, but more importantly for him in Aberdeen, he's got to try and turn the form of Aberdeen round, and that won't be easy.
Here's Olasanya, he's done well against Barron. Raskan comes back, helps him out though, and Barron emerges with the ball and slips it through to Ant-Man. We've played the 4 minutes that were allotted. We're in time on top of that. Ant-Man up to the edge of the box, hauled down by his international colleague Keskinen, and Rangers have a free kick at the edge of the Aberdeen box. It's right of centre, and that was
as clear as you'll ever see.
It's a chance for Rangers to try and get that 4th goal again, having seen Miovski's one wiped out.
Yeah, and a decent chance, isn't it? Right, so maybe, don't know if it's quite 25 yards. It would be 23, something like that.
Yeah.
Just to the right-hand side. So there's 3 of them over it just now. So they all fancy a little pop.
Tavernier and Mighoma are standing over it right now. As the ball moves back, but this will be potentially the last opportunity of the game. 4 were added. We've played 5. And Rangers with a chance to get a 4th. Should nudge them 2 goals better off than Hearts, but crucially they are 3 points behind the leaders. Mighoma still there. Tavernier telling Miovski where he should be going. Which of the 2 will it be? Mighoma with the left or Tavernier with the right? Tavernier loves a goal against Aberdeen. He takes it, he scores! Wonderful free kick from Tavernier, in off the underside of the bar, and in a week where a potential new deal for the Rangers skipper's been in the headlines, he reminds everyone here what he can do, what he's all about. It's his latest goal against the team he loves scoring against more than against an Aberdeen team that struggled throughout, threatened only on occasions, held out for the first 35 minutes until Chukwueze scored his second Rangers goal from the edge of the box. And then 2 minutes after the restart, Mikey Moore made it 2. Dennis Geiger gave Aberdeen hope 5 minutes later, making it 2-1. Before Rashkan rescored the 2-goal advantage just beyond the hour mark. Miovski had the ball in the net there, right at the end of the 90 minutes. It was ruled out for a handball in the build-up. But James Tavernier, yet again, against Aberdeen. He's got a remarkable record against them. That's the 16th time he's scored against the Dons. A lot of them have been penalties, obviously, but that might be his favourite one of all. It's a wonderful free kick, postage stamp corner, in off the underside of the crossbar as it bounced into the net to ensure that Rangers go back to within 3 points of the leaders, Heart of Midlothian, at the top of the table, and they go back into second above Celtic, who once again have all kinds of pressure lumped on their shoulders ahead of tomorrow lunchtime's trip to Tannadice Park, which will be live here on BBC Radio Scotland. They finished here under the lights at Ibrox. Rangers 4, relegation threatened Aberdeen 1.
The Scottish Premier